Maharaj, and also offer obeisances to lotus feet of the Dandi Sannyasi, Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj, Nam Nishta Sant Shri Aniruddhas Prabhuji. All the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavas are gathered here to accept my humble obeisances. I also offer obeisances to Vidula Prashta Jagat Guru Shri Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. I think it was his appearance day we are celebrating today. And I pray at his lotus feet for Shuddha Bhakti. So, we are discussing Madhurya Kadambini. So, page number 189, 197. So, here is said that paragraph 2, however, the incomplete performance of a limb of bhakti or omitting it is not described as sinful in the scriptures. Nor is any penance prescribed. Scripture does not instruct us to practice Bhagavad Dharma or to recite mantras while carrying a desire to sin in the heart. Both are performed solely with the desire to attain Bhagwan. If in the performance of bhakti the sadhaka becomes afflicted with some disease or dies, or if he undergoes some other impediment and consequently does not perfect his practice and attain his ultimate goal, there is no question of his incomplete practice being categorized as sin, for he had no trace of an intention to commit sin. Specifically on the path of karma, fruitive action, a slight shortcoming in following the prescribed rules and regulations in regard to the recitation of one's mantras or in one's conduct is considered a deficiency in following the limbs of karma. As a result of these shortcomings, the path of karma is not able to bestow its fruit. But the path of bhakti is not like this. By its very nature, bhakti is self-manifesting, all-powerful and fully independent. So there is no possibility of an anga being incomplete. The performance of any anga is automatically complete even if it is left incomplete. It surely bestows its fruit. It is never fruitless, and a devotee is not criticized by anyone in society. The scriptures also never criticize such a devotee and do not prescribe any form of atonement for him. Therefore, according to the above mentioned scriptural statements, there is no danger of there being any namaprad. So here you see that a lot of times Agyat Sukriti also helps the devotees. Agyat Sukriti is the, sometimes you'll see that unknowingly you circumambulate the temple of Vishnu, that is also Agyat Sukriti. You observe Ekadashi, that is also Agyat Sukriti. So knowingly or unknowingly, if you are practicing any limb of devotional service, that will give you some bhakti, understand? So in essence, it is namaprad to chant the holy name or perform any limb of devotion with a conscious desire to sin. Means we should not think that I want to sin. I'm performing this, chanting this holy name, now I'll get a lot of strength, and on this basis of this chanting the holy name, I will start sinning. This is actually a namaprad, understand? We should not try to trouble others, harass others on the strength of the holy name. And there are a lot of times you get a lot of strength by chanting the holy name. And many devotees, they become very powerful by chanting the holy name. For example, if you take sannyas, you will get a lot of donations, understand? And you cannot use that money to harass others with that money. But you should use that money to help others, serve others. Like we take the example of Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj. Srila Gurudev gives an example that whenever, when once Srila Gurudev, he took over the Mathura Math, he became the in charge of North Indian preaching of Gaudiya Vedanta Samiti, and Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj appointed him as the in charge of Mathura Math, Keshaji Gaudiya Math. And there was a need for some purchase of some place, some rooms and land, but he had no money. But Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, mercifully gave him 5,000 rupees. But he didn't tell anyone. If you give it by your right hand, if you give money by your right hand, you should not let your left hand know. That is the principle of charity. If anyone will know what charity I have given, then that's not real charity. So that was the nature of Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj. He used to give money to the devotees because he was sannyasi and acharya. He used to give donations and he used to distribute those donations among the devotees. But he would never let anyone know that what he has given. Understand? So he was using his power, but he was using it for serving the, like Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. He opened a school, Bhakti Vinod Institute. He was in charge. And he put some subjects there, like some secular subjects and one subject of religion. If you have passed all the subjects, secular subjects like physics, chemistry, mathematics, and social science and everything, but if you failed in the subject of religion, then you are considered fail. Means even if you may get very good marks in mathematics and other secular subjects, but if you don't qualify in the paper on religion, then you are considered failed. Understand? So he ensured that religion gets the topmost importance. That was the nature of Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. So that's why the major problem in all the educational institutions all over the world is that they are not introducing any subject compared to, that is consisting of religion. And because religious topics are not discussed, there are so many problems. They are increasing in number. Understand? Like in India, for example, there is a politician by the name Prakash Ambedkar, and he said that the caste system in India should go away. Then only India will be really united. But really speaking, what Gaudiya Math is doing is exactly that. The Gaudiya Math has told us the caste system, we don't believe in caste system. We don't believe in the caste system which is based on birth. The caste is determined by a person's action. That is what is Gaudiya Math. So Gaudiya Math is really doing what Prakash Ambedkar ji is telling. Already Gaudiya Math is doing that. Caste is not by birth. Janmana jayate shudra sanskarat. So that's why I actually told that transcendental objects have no birth and death, and no father and no mother. This is true of Vaishnavas as well. They are not subject to birth and death, nor do they have worldly family, caste or ashrama. In this world, the Vaishnavas' material situations are only a performance of a prakat manifested and aprakat unmanifested pastimes. By the desire of Sri Bhagavan, Vaishnavas or Bhaktas appear in this world in some family or lineage, but the Shastras forbid us to think that they have a material origin. Arche Vishnu Shiladir Gurusha Naramati Vaishnave Jati Buddhir. Vishnurva Vaishnavanam Kalibala Mathane Padakirti Abba Buddhi. Sri Vishnu Namni Mantre Sakala Kalushe Shabda Samanya Buddhi. Sri Vishnu Sarveshware Shetadare Samadhi Resava Narakisa. One becomes a resident of hell if he thinks that the deity to be mere stone. Gurudev to be an ordinary human being, the Vaishnavas to belong to some caste. The water which has washed the lotus feet of Vishnu or the Vaishnavas to be an ordinary water, and the mantra and holy names of Vishnu which destroy all sins to be ordinary sounds, and the Supreme Lord Vishnu to be equal to the demigods. Understand? So basically you'll see that Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, he was born in the Brahmin family. Understand? But he was very qualified. He was born in Chakravarti family. He took sannyas from Srila Bhakti Gaurav Vaikhanas Goswami Maharaj, who was also born in Brahmin family. But they accepted Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada as the spiritual master. Although Prabhupada was not born in Brahmin family, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was not born in Brahmin family, but they knew that Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada is a transcendental personality. He has come from Golok Vrindavan. Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj also, he appeared in the Brahmin family. But he accepted Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada as Guru. So it means that we don't follow the caste system, we follow the qualification system. What is your qualification? That decides what kind of Vaishnava you are. Therefore, according to transcendental scriptures, those who attempt to determine a Vaishnava's birth, family, caste in the material world are fools, hypocrites and offenders for that Vaishnava. No karma bandhanam, janma Vaishnavanam cha vidyate, Padma Purana. Vaishnavas are not under the jurisdiction of birth and karma. Satvat Shastras prohibit considerations of material birth, family, caste, and so forth for Vaishnavas. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born in Brahmin family, but what he did, he took Haridas' body and he danced. He personally gave Samadhi to Haridas Thakur by his own hands and celebrated a festival for his disappearance. You can read that in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Although he was born in Muslim family, Mahaprabhu gave him so much honor. Why? Because he was a very elevated Vaishnava. Understand? Even Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, they used to associate with Haridas Thakur and used to stay with him, I think, when they used to come to Jagannath Puri. So, from material consideration, Muslims, if you even touch a Muslim, you are supposed to take a bath. You cannot even touch a Muslim. Muslims are so fallen and low class. But if that Muslim man is a devotee, then you are considered purified if you touch him. So it means that when you become a devotee, your caste, your birth, your religion doesn't matter. You become extremely purified. Understand? You become transcendentalized. Understand? And that time your caste doesn't matter anymore. So on the strength of one's birth, that I am born in Brahmin family, I will commit atrocities on others, that is not recommended. On the strength of one's ashrama, that I am in sannyas ashram, so I will try to always look down upon others and give them hard time. That is also sin. On the strength of japa also, one should not give harassment to others. In other words, it is namapara to desire to purify oneself of sinful activities knowingly performed on the strength of the holy name or on the strength of any limb of bhakti. Actually, the Vaishnavas, they are not even allowed to kill a mosquito. Mosquitoes actually, talk about them, they are amazing. They can totally ruin your sleep. Understand? I had experience last 1 month I was in another house, and how I could realize their power actually. They really made me stay awake many times. Now in the house I have changed, we have shifted to another preaching center, and now it's much better out here. And I keep some camphor strips here and there. But the problem actually that there are some solutions like they have Good Night or All Out. I don't know this. You have heard about this product called All Out. This All Out is a product like you put it in the electric socket and it will send out some vapors, and then those vapors will drive away the mosquitoes. Understand? So, but All Out actually is not good for health because All Out uses some insecticides, and these insecticides are banned in many parts of the world. So therefore, actually, these dangerous chemicals, why do you have to inhale them? Some people say that actually turning on All Out, it will actually like smoking 50 cigarettes, as bad as that. So it's so bad, this All Out. But I use mosquito net, I cover myself with mosquito net, or I just keep some camphor strips in my room, and the smell emanating from the camphor drives away the mosquitoes. There are ways actually. So the point is that I cannot kill a mosquito just because I'm a devotee or a sannyasi, or I think I can get rid of that sin by chanting the holy name tomorrow. No. If I should let the mosquito live, but use some techniques by which the mosquito would not come to my room. I should drive it away. Understand? Like cockroaches are coming to your kitchen, then you should keep it so clean that there will be no cockroaches there. Understand? So then they have nothing to eat, so they wouldn't come. Understand? Like in my room, some ants were coming. Ants were coming from and they were biting me. So could not sleep. Daytime they are all hunting for food because of rainy season. And then they used to bite me because maybe I've eaten some sweet prasadam. So they like me. So anyways, it was difficult to sleep. So then we have something called Lakshman Resha. One chalk, and that is like insecticide chalk, and you draw a line with it, they don't cross it. Like for Sita, Lakshman had drawn one line by the tip of his arrow so that no one would be able to kidnap or harass Sita. But Sita crossed that Lakshman Resha, the line drawn by Lakshmana, and she was kidnapped. So there is one product called Lakshman Resha. We use that, so that is the last recourse. What can we do? But they say that turmeric will drive away the ants also. If you put sprinkles of turmeric, but turmeric will convert your clothes also yellowish. That will turn your clothes yellowish. So what I am saying is that such a sin becomes as hard as thunderbolt, and one cannot get free from it. So when you commit sinful activities on the strength of bhakti, then that sin becomes as hard as a thunderbolt, and one cannot get free from it. Like if you have, for example, you have some cancer cells growing in your body, then cancer tumor is growing in your body, and then you can get rid of it in the beginning stages. Understand? So for cancer tumor, Sripad Anirudh Prabhuji told me one medicine, and that is radium brome. This radium brome actually is having very good properties, and it can get rid of the tumor. Radium brome. But if it has grown too much, this tumor, then the radium brome will not work. So the point I'm making is that if you are unknowingly committing any sin, then the holy name will eradicate that sin. But knowingly, on the strength of chanting the holy name, then that sin will become like a thunderbolt, it will become an offense. So 1E, by taking shelter of Bhagavad Dharma, all obstacles are destroyed. Understand? Today I was reading one prayer by Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj. He wrote on Jaladuta. When he was on Jaladuta, when he went to Boston Pyre, and he said that these people are very, very passionate. Very, very passionate. They are all in passionate mode of, these Americans are in mode of passion and ignorance, more or less. Very few people are in mode of goodness. How am I going to preach? How am I going to preach the philosophy of Krishna consciousness in this place? And then he wrote one song, Markine Bhagavad Dharma. In that one actually, he's actually begging to Krishna. Bada Krupa Kaile Krishna Adhamera Prati Kilagiyani Lehetai Kuroe Begati. Why you have brought me to this passionate place? He said, he praying, I have no bhakti, I don't know any Vedanta. Why still they call me Bhakti Vedanta? Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj has given me this title, Bhakti Vedanta. How will I convert them? But then he had confidence that if they listen to the message of Bhagavatam, Vidyate Hridaya Granthis Chiddante Sarva Samshaya Klishante Chasa Karmani Shiyante Chasa Karmani Krishna Mevahaneshwari. That if they hear, they give oral reception to the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, then the knots of their heart will go away. And they will be able to rectify their this thing. So if you take shelter of Bhagavad Dharma means if you become a devotee, if you listen to the message of Srimad Bhagavatam from a person Bhagavat, not from any materialist person you hear Bhagavatam. And then all obstacles will be destroyed in your bhakti. So the following statement is seen in the Shastra. Even ignorant person easily attain their eternal well-being, Shri Bhagavan, by following all the methods he has prescribed. Know these methods to be Bhagavad Dharma, Bhakti. So what is Bhagavad Dharma? Bhagavad Dharma is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told, or what Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita, or what Krishna instructions to Dhava, or the great devotees like Narad, what they have instructed to Vasudeva, or what Vasudeva has instructed to Shukdev Goswami. If you follow those instructions, then all your obstacles in your life will go away. An ignorant person will also attain their eternal well-being. Like Srila Gurudev actually tells a story of one of his godbrothers. And that godbrother was not very intelligent. He was not very intelligent, but he was always chanting the holy name. And he didn't have any sharp mind also. But But he was always chanting the holy name. And whoever he met, he used to tell them to chant the holy name. And Srila Gurudev always sometimes joke with him, and sometimes, but he never minded anything. He always kept on chanting the holy name. And Gurudev used to respect him. Gurudev used to respect him because he was always chanting the holy name. So even if someone is not very intelligent, but he takes shelter of this Bhagavad Dharma, starts following Ekadashi, start chanting the holy name, oh, his life will change. It doesn't take much intelligence to practice this Krishna consciousness moment. And sometimes I do think about it, that when I did engineering degree or when I was working on Wall Street as a computer programmer or database administrator, all the tasks I had to do required a lot of brain. But bhakti, no brain is required. Understand? It's a relax. You simply take some prasadam, whatever prasadam is available. It's not necessary that you have to have very sumptuous prasadam, lot of delicacies, a lot of food, different types of foodstuffs, even simple rice or simply simple some millet porridge, and you can take some something with some sabji. Many of our acharyas, they didn't even wear clothes. They simply stayed naked, or maybe very little cloth around their waist just to cover themselves, and they used to chant the holy name all the time, and they never worried about eating. If they got some fried grams, they used to take, or they used to take some wheat ball and put it on the red hot charcoal. The ball used to become very, used to be cooked, and then they used to eat that ball. That's all. No salt also. The acharyas have showed us that don't be attached to the body and don't try to do so many endeavors to just take care of your body. What's the point? How does it make a difference? So our acharyas were really showing us that how to follow Bhagavad Dharma. Even while running on this path with his eyes closed, that is to say with some lapse in his proper observance of the prescribed rules and regulations, he will not stumble or fall from it, nor will he be cheated of its ultimate result. Now, in childhood, we used to crack one joke that someone asked a passerby, where is the hospital? Where is the nearby hospital? So one person asked another passerby that, where is the nearby hospital? And then that passerby told him, just you walk on this highway with closed eyes and you will reach the hospital. Means you'll be hit by some car and you'll have to reach the hospital. Understand? So if you walk with closed eyes on a highway, what will happen? You'll land in the hospital anyways. So he was telling the address of the hospital indirectly that they will take you to the hospital. You don't have to go to the hospital. So what I'm saying is that on the path of bhakti is not like the highway, walking on a highway or, interstate highway like this. No. Even if on this path with eyes closed, if you walk, means if there is some lapse in his observance of the prescribed rules and regulations, sometimes it may happen. Sometimes it may happen that you cannot chant Annik on time. Like once, Srila Bhakti Rakshakshidhar Maharaj, he met one Madhva Sampradaya devotee, sannyasi, and he said that I cannot chant my Gayatri on time because there are so many people who are just waiting for me to ask questions and all. Then he said, yes, that is your duty. You have to answer the spiritual questions, and when you get time, you do your Annik, because you understood the meaning now. So preaching, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj also used to say, once many devotees accompanied him to preaching Assam, to Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, and then actually the devotees were very frustrated. They said, these people are very materialistic. They're very, very materialistic. They have no influence. Nothing can change them. How much you preach. So let's go back. And then Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj told, no. We should be hopeful that their hearts will change. And those who get frustrated in preaching, those who think that prachar and sadhana is different. But if you think that my sadhana is prachar only is my sadhana, or the Nagar Sankirtan I am doing, that is my sadhana, you will never become bored. Understand? Like for example, at the time of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, he used to send out the parties for doing Nagar Kirtan. In cold season, in New York, subways, and Chicago. Chicago is windy city, understand? The temperature may be 0 degrees, but the wind chill will make it minus 20 degrees. It's so windy city. I remember, I was in the outskirts of Chicago once. I landed there first I went to America, I landed in that O'Hare airport. At O'Hare airport, the devotees used to call it O'Hare airport. O'Hare. Yeah. So I landed there, it was so cold out there. And devotees used to do Nagar Kirtan there, 8 hours like that. Their hands used to freeze. But if you regard that Nagar Kirtan as your sadhana, then that is okay. Understand? Because you are doing Nagar Kirtan. Understand? So preaching is also a type of sadhana. So we cannot stop preaching also, and we cannot stop our sadhana bhajan also. Understand? Both should go hand in hand. Because if we don't preach, we are not showing mercy. Like for example, Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Daita Madhava Goswami Maharaj asked him that I am now exhibiting the pastime of being sick. So he was sick and old. He said, after me, I want this mission to carry on. So would you want to initiate disciples? Then Srila Bhakti Daita Madhava Goswami, then Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj said that, what can I do? He was thinking. So actually, then it is mentioned that just like accepting initiation is a limb of devotional service, right? In 64 limbs of devotional service, there is one limb that you have to accept a Sadguru and you have to hear Diksha mantra from him. First Hare Krishna mantra, and then you have to hear the Gopal mantra and other Diksha mantras from the lips of the devotee. This is one of the limbs of devotional service. Ado Guru Padashraya Tata Diksha Shiksha. So similarly, Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Goswami Maharaj said that just as accepting Diksha is a limb of devotional service, giving Diksha is also a limb of devotional service. Because how will people accept Diksha if there is no one to give Diksha? Understand? So Gurus, they are doing, if any Acharya is giving Diksha, that is also a limb of devotional service. Because you are starting the bhakti of so many devotees. Understand? So accepting Diksha is a limb of devotional service, and giving Diksha is also limb of devotional service. Understand? So both should go on hand in hand. And sometimes it may so happen that, you cannot completely attend Kartik, like Parshipad Dandi Maharaj. He was so busy in managing Bangalore temple with 300 cows, so many devotees, deity seva, preaching in South India. And he rushed to Vrindavan maybe last 2 days of Kartika. He could not fully attend Kartik month because of his responsibilities. No one can replace him there, and no one can actually take his position because it is so hard to manage that temple. A big society like Sranganath Gaudiya Math, it's a big ashrama. So many devotees, they could not go to Kartik, although they had a desire to. They could not go for Kartik for entire month. But that is not an offense. Understand? That is not an offense because it is necessary for them to preach also. Like many times, Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj also used to observe the entire Kartik in Chandigarh. Although the best place to observe Kartik is Mathura and Vrindavan, and the scriptures tell that. But there were some needs that Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, necessary it was for them to preach in that area. Because Srila Bhakti Daita Madhava Goswami Maharaj, he was a Lion Acharya. And he established with hard effort Math in Punjab. Because to preach Gaudiya Vaishnavism in Punjab, they needed someone very strong personality like Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Goswami Maharaj. So after Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Goswami Maharaj, someone had to carry on that work, and that was carried on by Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Goswami Maharaj and Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj and other acharyas. So even if these great acharyas, they miss sometimes Kartik and cannot go to Vrindavan, there is no offense at all. Or any, many of you could not go to Kartik also because you are in your country's corona situation. Not many devotees could travel, and also financial constraints are there. So you are not reaching Vrindavan is not considered an offense. Understand? But because you have an inclination to go to Vrindavan and you have a desire to go to Vrindavan, it is actually in separation you are serving Vrindavan. Understand? Um, just like, for example, there was a birthplace of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Now, this birthplace of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was a very, very dirty place. That place, people used to throw garbage there, and so much mud used to be there, and so much dirt. But when the disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada used to come to the birthplace of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, they used to offer Sashtang Dandot Pranam. Imagine in total dirt, rotten things are lying around, and they are with their saffron clothes, very wonderful clothes. They used to lie full flat on the ground. And Srila Bhakti Gyan Bharati Maharaj used to see that, what is this? My Guru Maharaj and all the disciples of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada are lying here full. Srila Bhakti Gyan Bharati Maharaj used to do only Panchanga Pranam, means with his knees and his head, and that too only for a second, and he used to get up because that would spoil his dress. But later on, when he came to know about the glories of the birthplace of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he also started offering Sashtang Dandot Pranam there. Understand? Because that place was so glorious. Now it was Bhaktivedanta Madhava Goswami Maharaj, by his hard labor, hard effort, he collected funds and he acquired that place. So the point here is that here the words Nimilla Netra means by closing the eyes and refer to the action a person performs. Indirectly, Nimilla indicates despite having eyes, one closes them. That is, it suggests willful closing of the eyes. The word Dhavan, running, refers to taking longer strides than normal without stumbling. Similarly, a person may take shelter of Bhagavad Dharma and may have knowledge of the limbs of Bhakti, but still, like an ignorant person, he may skip over some of the secondary angles. If, however, he continues to follow the primary limbs, hearing and chanting and remembering, then there will be neither be the fault of neglect, nor will there be any hindrance, and he will not be cheated of the fruit of Bhagavad Dharma. This analogy is indeed appropriate. For example, if I want, I can purchase deities from Vrindavan, send someone to Vrindavan, purchase deities. Then I spend a lot of my time in dressing the deities, making garlands for the deities, chanting the mantras, doing abhishek for the deities. If I want, I can do that. I have some money also. I can get the deity of Radha Krishna or Laddu Gopal. Or I can choose that I keep instead a photograph of Radha Govinda, Radha Gopinath, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Vinod Bihari, any deity installed by an authentic Vaishnava, and make a simple garland every day, offer to that deity and chant more, focus more on chanting the holy name. It is my choice. Understand? Every Vaishnava has a choice like that. Like Srila Gurudev also many times used to say that, you are a sannyasi, you are a brahmachari, and it may be very difficult for you to maintain your deities with you. You may have to travel somewhere. Sometimes you may have to travel without reservation also. Emergency. How will you be able to carry the deities with you? So better you think that my Japamala is my 108 gopis and Radha Krishna, the Merumani. Let me just chant on my Harinam Mala and worship a picture of Panchatattva Radha Krishna. That will be better for me. One should evaluate like that. Understand? I am not looking down upon Archana Marga. Understand? Archan Marga, there are great devotees like Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj, and there were devotees like Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhava Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Srila our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedanta Nandi Maharaj, all these great Vaishnavas, they are worshipping the deity. Understand? No doubt about it that one should not think that deity worship is for only Kanishta Adhikaris. Actually, deity worship is for all types of Adhikaris. One will have more relish if one is a Mahabhagavat, he will relish a different rasa, much higher rasa when he is a Mahabhagavat, when he worships the deity. Madhavendra Puripad also served the deity. Rupa Goswami also served the deity. And all the great acharyas have served. Sanatana Goswami also served the deity of Radha Madan Mohan. But Kanishta Adhikari also can serve. Depending on your Adhikar, you will relish that deity worship. But there are many acharyas, they didn't worry about the deities and they kept on chanting the holy name, and that is also okay. Understand? So, so Srila Gurudev has said that, for renounced persons in renounced order of life, if they're traveling too much, no need of keeping any Shaligram, Shila or deities. They should simply keep a picture of Radha Krishna and chant holy name. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also in Jaiva Dharma says that yes, you should serve the deity. Very important. In Muslims don't serve the deities, Christians don't serve the deities. And that's why there are so many materialistic persons in those religions. But the Hindus and Sanatana Dharma people serve the deities and they're more advanced. Deity worship is wonderful. No doubt about it. But if someone, due to restrictions, is not able to go to the temple, he is living away from the temple, or because his physical condition is not permitting to serve the deity, because deity worship means 3 times you have to make offerings, properly do Abhishek, chant Purush Sukta, this, that, then that person, if doesn't keep the deities, instead focuses on the holy name, there is nothing to lose for him. And for example, you'll see that you have to offer a ghee lamp to the deity. Understand? Ghee lamp you have to offer to the deity. But suppose someone is in the renounced order of life, then how will he get the ghee, pure ghee, very expensive or not available? Suppose you are living in the forest, and how can you offer ghee lamp to your deity or to a Shaligram Shila or Govardhan Shila? In that case, you are given an option of offering sesame seed oil. But even if that is not available, then you can offer a lamp to your deity of the oil made from the castor oil. You must have known the castor oil. Castor oil is great purgative, means it cleanses your stomach like anything. It is not used for cooking at all. If you cook with that, then everyone will be in hospital. Understand? But that oil is actually not meant for anything, but only as a medicine. You can take 1 spoon of it with milk. I remember in childhood, my mother used to give that with, it was so tasteless or maybe ugly thing, that we had to close our nose just to swallow it. It was sticky thing that used to go to our stomach, and 15 or 20 minutes or half or 1 hour later, we used to get a solid motion, all dirty things coming out. So that castor oil actually is called Ingu di Tela. Ingu. That Ingu di Tela can be used in deity worship. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, when he started Gita Nagari, then he said that we don't want any electricity here, because electricity means you have to again get a power grid, transformer. It's a distributed model of electricity. And again you have to pay the bill to the government. You simply chant in the night. You put in front of the deity plant some castor plants, make the oil from that, and then you just light the castor lamps and chant all night. No need of electricity. So I went to Gita Nagari, there was no electricity there for some houses. Understand? So anyways, many acharyas also without electricity they did bhajan. So he may skip over some of the secondary angles. If however he continues to follow the primary limbs, hearing, chanting and remembering, then there will be neither be the fault or of neglect, nor will there be any hindrance. He will not be cheated of the fruit of Bhagavad Dharma. This analogy is indeed appropriate. So 3 limbs, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Now the question comes that Shravanam, hearing, is given number 1 priority. Although Kirtanam is the topmost limb, but hearing is also very important. Suppose you are not hearing Harikatha, then your mind will become restless, and after some time you will leave your Japamala and everything, and you will want to go home, again go back to your mother, father or your wife or something. Understand? So those who don't hear Harikatha, there is always a chance of falling down. That's why it is very, very important to hear Harikatha. Very, very important. Shravanam, Tachrunam. And then we should engage in chanting and remembering. But hearing Harikatha, we should not neglect. So, in the previous section, while describing the different types of offenses, which are powerful obstacles to bhakti or anarthas, Srila Vishwanath Thakur also explains that Bhagavad Dharma bestows the full result of devotional practice, even if a person fails to perform some of its angas. So there are 64 limbs of devotional service. And in 64 limbs of devotional service, what limbs you are going to perform. Recently, there was actually a debate, and it's perpetual debate. Now, Kartik month is getting over today. Tomorrow, we'll be shaving, and then Katyani Vrata begins. Understand? Now, this Katyani Vrata, shall we follow it or not follow it? Then actually there is one devotee by the name Madhukar Prabhu, my god brother. He's also on Facebook. He gives classes also. So I asked Madhukar Prabhu that are you going to do, just like I asked him, that are you going to do Katyani Vrata? Then actually he told me no. He said, I am not going to do Katyani Vrata. Then I said, why? Then he sent one message of Srila Gurudev, audio message and also his transcription. So there is one Didi living in Gopinath Bhavan, her name is Vrindavan. So that Mataji, Vrindavan Lila Mataji, she actually transcribed this lecture of Srila Gurudev in English, and then said, no, Katyani Vrata will not do. Katyani Vrata will not. So Gurudev told, actually, the gopis, Sadhan Siddha gopis worship Katyani. And Krishna appeared before them and satisfied their desire. So Gurudev said that if they worship Katyayani Durga, then Katyayani should have come before them. Why Krishna came? And Gurudev is telling that actually they didn't worship Katyayani at all, they worship Krishna only. Understand? So he said that for us, there is no need of this Katyayani Vrata. We should better be satisfied by this Kartik Vrata is enough for us, no need for us to follow Katyayani. That was actually what I heard. Transcription, I can forward that to you. So the point here is that if someone doesn't do Katyayani Vrata, understand. Or another example I am giving is that we should, like Sripad Dandi Maharaj. I told Dandi Maharaj that devotees are taking a trip to Mathura, Kashi, Dwarka, Gaya, and then many places they're going, and they're telling me you should also join us. Then Sripad Dandi Maharaj told me that, actually for Vaishnavas, for especially Gaudiya Vaishnavas like us, only two places are most important. If you visit two places, then actually you have visited all the holy places in the world. One is Vrindavan, other one is Navadvip. Because in Vrindavan and Navadvip, all the holy places are present. Understand? So if someone doesn't visit all the holy places and only visits Navadvip or Vrindavan, he has nothing to lose. Understand? So it is not considered defective if he doesn't go to Dwarka and only goes to Vrindavan or in Navadvip and he does bhajan there. It is not considered defect. Understand? Although he is keeping one of the limb of devotional service is visiting the holy places like Dwarka and Haridwar also. There are 7 places. But because he is taking up the higher process, he is not considered a loser. Understand? He has nothing to lose. So now the revered author explains how a person makes a rapid advancement on the path of bhajan despite breaching the angas of bhakti or Bhagavad Dharma. There is no fear of his falling down or committing an offense. The author establishes this on the evidence of verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. Shri Kavi Yogendra says to King Nimi, Yevai Bhagavata Prokta Upayahi Atmalabdhe Adnyaha Pumsam Avidusham Vidhi Bhagavatan Hita. Yan asthaya naro rajan na pramadet karhichit dhavan nimilleva netre naskare na pateti. Now these Navayogendras, this Kavi, these are the 9 sons of Rishabdeva, liberated persons. They are talking to the great king Nimi, forefather of Mother Sita. By following all the methods Bhagavan has prescribed, even ignorant person easily attains their eternal well-being. Shri Bhagavan himself know these methods to be Bhagavad Dharma. Now, whatever Bhagavan is instructed in Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, if you follow these instructions, you will get your eternal being. Means you will attain Bhagavan himself, the lotus feet of Bhagavan or Bhakti for Bhagavan. So the methods prescribed by Bhagavan in Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita or Srimad Bhagavatam is called Bhagavad Dharma. O king, by taking shelter of Bhagavad Dharma, a person will never be hindered by any obstacle. even while running on this path of bhakti with his eyes closed. So Bhagavad Dharma is so easy and so much because now this is the age of insurance. For everything there is an insurance. People buy life insurance, accident insurance, the insurance for fire, insurance for drowning, insurance for their factory, insurance for their flight, insurance for their voyage, insurance for their everything. Because they are skeptical what will happen next moment. Understand? So here the insurance is there. If you follow Bhagavad Dharma, if you worship Vishnu, then you will never be hindered by any obstacle. This is the insurance. Understand? But this is not said about karma, jnana, or worship of demigods. No. Only if you follow Bhagavad Dharma, you are guaranteed of success. Even if you do it with closed eyes. Even while running on this path of bhakti with his eyes closed, that is to say, with some lapse in his proper observance of the prescribed rules and regulations, he will not stumble or fall from it. Like that is what actually Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj told. You try to chant 16 rounds. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, 1 lakh holy name, 64 rounds. Like Srila Anand Prabhuji also says, Srila Gurudev also says, Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami also says, that chant 1 lakh holy name. Now they are telling you to chant 1 lakh holy name. And that's it. If you cannot do any other limb, but you are doing 1 lakh holy name, you are okay. Understand? And if you hear Harikatha, render some service to sadhus and chant 1 lakh holy name, I think we are all set. Understand? No other limb of devotional service is required. And you can see that in the life of Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj. Once he had a fever, 104 degree Fahrenheit. And there was no one to cook in the matha. So Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj was woken up by Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. Hey, wake up. Sajjan Sevak Brahmachari, wake up, cook. So who will cook? So many devotees have come. Who will feed them prasad? Cook. And then he got up from his fever, his condition. He cooked for them and again he went and took rest. Understand? So he was so much serving the devotees. When devotees are taking prasad, Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj used to put the leaf plate before them. Lemon, salt he used to give. After they have taken prasad, he used to lift their leaf plates, clean that area. That service Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj used to do. And they used to chant 1 lakh holy name. Like Narari Seva Vigraha Prabhu, what he was doing? He was called the mother of the Gaudiya Math. He used to wash the clothes of brahmacharis, take care of them when they are sick, feed them, cook for them, cut vegetables. He had no time to chant 1 lakh holy name, which is the standard in Gaudiya Math. So he used to chant standing position with his ponytail actually tied to the, with his tuft of the hair, shikha to the roof, and standing condition is to chant 1 lakh holy name, so that he doesn't fall asleep. These great devotees have shown by their example. Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, whose disappearance day we are celebrating today. He used to edit so many books, magazines, periodicals for Srila Prabhupada, but always he used to curtail his sleep, reduce his sleep, and he used to chant 1 lakh holy name without any fault. And he was an excellent pujari. He was such a diligent pujari. He was so expert in deity worship. Understand? He was also excellent in japa. Excellent in kirtan. His kirtans used to appear on All India Radio. All devotees used to gather near a radio set. Radio set was actually very rare in those days. And they used to, wherever neighbors' radio set used to go and hear when All India Radio used to broadcast the bhajans of Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj. Understand? So these great acharyas have showed by their example, by chanting the holy name, serving the Vaishnavas, they got all the result. All the results came just by chanting the holy name and by serving Vaishnavas. They did not do so many limbs of devotional service. Not so much Bhagavatam also they did study. Sometimes when we study too many books and we know too many verses, Gurudev says some false ego may come. Understand? That if you are learned persons, those who can quote many verses, they have a lot of false ego. So Gurudev is telling. Understand? So, you should not develop that false ego. Scholarship sometimes can make you have false ego. So various rishis and munis, sages and seers have articulated aspects of their respective religious processes. But no one besides Sri Bhagavan himself can describe Bhagavad Dharma, Bhakti Dharma and his own real nature, Swarupa. It is for this reason that Bhagavan has done so. Krishna says to Uddhav, Kalina Nashta Pralay Vaniyan Veda Sadmita Mayadu Brahmana Prokta Dharmayasyam Bata. Actually, Srila Bhaktivedanta Bhaman Goswami Maharaj, he was great Guru Sevaka. Understand? Was a great Guru Sevaka. That's why actually Krishna always protected him. Once he was a brahmachari, he went to Krishnanagar. And there in Krishnanagar, his aunt was staying actually. So he was walking from bus stand to his aunt's house. And it was night time. And night time he saw some marriage procession. Some marriage party was going on. So many people had gathered and they were cooking with puris. Oil was boiling in a cauldron and then they were putting puris in that. Sabji they were making. Dancing and singing was going on. Then the father of the bride told that, please bless my daughter. Please bless my daughter and, and he told like that. And somehow Srila Bhaktivedanta Bhaman Goswami Maharaj, he came home from that place. Then his aunt asked him that, hey, Sajjan Sevak, hey, Santosh, how come you became so late? He said, I was coming from bus stand and then on the way I saw a marriage party. Some marriage was going on and that's why I had to go there, so I became late. Then she said, there is no marriage there. Apparently in that playground, so many ghosts were there, understand? And they were doing the marriage of some ghost. Apparently maybe some people say that but for some reason they had become ghost. So, but Krishna saved him, understand? Otherwise he would have died, understand? Ghost would have killed him. So point I am making is that the pure devotees are always protected. This is called Dhavan. Even if you are running with closed eyes, Guru and Vaishnavas are always watching over you, understand? Another time, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Bhaman Goswami Maharaj, there was a flood in Mayapur. The flood in Mayapur, somehow or the other, he had some seva to do in Mayapur. So he went there with a boat because he was from Bangladesh. He was born in Khulna or some other district, I think, Khulna. There, he was very expert in. He was very, very expert in rowing the boat. So somehow he went to in the flood with a boat. But the flood was so intense, the waves were so intense of Jamuna or Ganga, that his boat was carried away. And somehow he was dangling with a branch of a tree. He was hanging with a branch of a tree and the boat was gone. So when his boat was gone, he didn't know what to do. Understand? And he saw that that was not enough. The branch had many snakes because snakes had no place to go because the flood was intense. So there were many poisonous snakes on the branch by he was hanging. And he was praying to Bhagavan, oh Bhagavan, please, they should not bite me. Understand? And Bhagavan protected him. Thus no snake bit him. Then the devotees saw that, some people saw that he was hanging by a branch and his boat was gone. They came and rescued him. So for the service of his Guru Varga Krishna, he took that risk of, rowing a boat in the flood, intense flood in Ganga. But Krishna protected him. Understand? So when you are serving the Vaishnavas, when you are trying to serve the Vaishnavas, so many dangers may come, but Krishna will protect you. So my dear Uddhav, with the inevitable passing of time came the period of annihilation. And the transcendental message of the Vedas was lost. So basically, that is what the mean avatar is meant for. Pralaya payoti janirudhavanasi vedam vigitavahi sacharitramakedam keshavadrita meena sharira jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare jai jagadisha hare. At a time of cosmic annihilation, there is a torrential rain for 100 years. And in that flood, the message of Veda was lost. For this reason, at a time of the following creation, I again instructed this Vedic knowledge to Brahma in accord with my resolve. My instructions to him initiate the path of devotion to me, Bhagavad Dharma. So whenever the Vedic knowledge is lost, what Bhagavan does? Oh, Bhagavan again will instruct the devotees. Bhagavan will instruct Brahma about this transcendental knowledge. Sometimes Bhagwan will help recover the Vedic knowledge. Sometimes Madhu demon or Kaitak demon, they steal the Vedas, that Bhagwan kills them and recovers the Vedic knowledge. Knowledge is very important. Without knowledge, we are like animals. Understand? So, Bhagavad Dharma is nothing but the instructions given by Bhagwan. Vedic knowledge is nothing but the instructions given by Bhagwan. The Vedas are considered the exhalation of Bhagwan, Nishwas of Bhagwan. The fruit of Bhagavad Dharma is the attainment of prema for Bhagwan and direct service to him. The Bhagavad Dharma is meant for the prema. Prema pumartho maha. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also told. Prema, the fifth and final achievement of human life is to get Krishna prema and direct service to Krishna. Since Bhagwan has personally explained with his own lotus mouth how to attain such prema and loving service, that explanation is trustworthy and flawless. So, we have to listen to the authority. Understand? Like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, they asked him that Jesus is the Guru. Jesus is the Guru, is the Guru of Christian religion. So what is need of you or any Acharya in the current time? Jesus is there. Jesus came, he gave the instructions. And then what is the use of you? Why we need a Mahanta Guru or a spiritual master now? If the Guru already had come, Jesus had already come. Then Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said that yes, suppose the water of Ganga manifests from Himalayas in Gangotri, but it is flowing, but everyone cannot go to Gangotri. Can you go to Gangotri? It is very difficult to go to Gangotri, where the Ganga originates. It is in deep forest. It is in a very dense, deep forest and top of a mountain, which is only some trekkers can go there. Ordinary people cannot go to the Gangotri. So, although Jesus gave the knowledge or any predecessor Acharya may have given knowledge, but it's very difficult to approach Jesus or approach Brahma now for knowledge because they are living so high up. So then what happens? The Ganges water starts flowing. It flows through Prayag, Kanpur, Kashi. Finally, the water comes to Navadvip and then goes to Ganga Sagar. So in Navadvip, when we go for parikrama, we can happily drink the Ganges water. We can take bath in the Ganges water because the Ganga stream has come down. So because the knowledge given by predecessor acharyas, it is accessible to everyone because of the Mahanta Gurus, the spiritual masters who preach everywhere on the earth in the current time, in the present time. Although there were past acharyas, there were great past acharyas, but their presence will not be very useful for us. We will not realize what they are saying unless we contact a living source of knowledge. That is our Mahanta Guru, current Guru, who is giving us knowledge. For example, I was born in India, in Hindu culture. I knew Mahabharata also. I had read Mahabharata. I had read Bhagavad Gita also. I had Bhagavad stories also I had heard. But all the books of great Vyasadeva in my house. But I didn't know what he has written because I had not contacted a Mahanta Guru. Although I was born, I had faith in Krishna because my father and mother had faith in Krishna, so I also had faith in Krishna. But that faith was not very strong. It was actually not rooted in transcendence. But when I met Srila Gurudev, when I heard his Harikatha, when I got initiated by him, then a difference in my life came. Not until then. So Vyasadeva's teachings were not helping me, although they were present in the book form in my house, but I could not get the gist of it, what he was trying to say. Because Mahabharata is very vast. And Ramayana is also so vast. So how will you know what is the... But when I met Srila Gurudev, the first thing he told me that he chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This Mahamantra is Krishna only, not different from him. It can fulfill all your desires. And it can take you to Golok Vrindavan. Chant this Mahamantra. So it was very easy. He told us to chant Mahamantra, follow Ekadashi, not to take meat, fish, eggs, gambling. That's it. And serve, have faith in him. And serve him. He told some simple things. What he told was the essence of all the Vedic culture, all the Vedas. Understand? So Bhagavad Dharma is the process by which even an ignorant person can easily attain me, the Supreme Soul. By these words of Sri Bhagavan, every human being has been granted eligibility for bhakti. Now, Jaiva Dharma, there's a big discussion will come. Tomorrow we'll have Jaiva Dharma class. Are Muslims eligible for bhakti or not? Everyone is eligible for bhakti. For example, you hear the story of Shivratri Katha. There was a hunter. He went to hunt in the forest, and then somehow or other it became late in the night, and he started plucking the leaves of bilva trees, which are 3 leaves, and underneath there was a Shivalinga. He started dropping those leaves on the Shivalinga. It was the night of Mahashivratri, so he accidentally stayed awake. When his bow or his arrow fell down on the ground, he bowed down to pick up his bow and arrow. So he bowed down before a Shivalinga, so he got the benefit of bowing down to Shivalinga also. And then he also brought the water from the river, and accidentally the water fell on the Shivalinga, so he got the benefit of bathing the Shivalinga. So many things coincided, and he got the sukriti of observing Mahashivratri and worshipping the Shivalinga. And as a result, in next lifetime, he was born in a good family. He got a devotee birth, or he was even liberated and became associate of Lord Shiva. So either way, this is called Agyat Sukriti. Even ignorant person like that hunter had a good destination. Like Valmiki, he was Rajamil. Ajamil was a very learned Brahmana, but he had lost his intelligence due to association with a prostitute. But what happened to him? By chanting the name of Narayana unknowingly, he was liberated. So bhakti is so powerful. Bhakti is very, very powerful. So we'll stop here today. We are on the last page of page number 200. So we'll carry next time, and tomorrow I'll see you for the Dharma class. Thank you so much. And tomorrow onwards, I think the Kartik is over, officially over. And therefore, you can again start cooking tomatoes, which you might have missed a lot, brinjal, eggplants, and all the vegetables which are forbidden during the Chaturmasya. Obviously, we don't take onion, garlic, but other vegetables which are forbidden, we can start cooking again, like beet and all. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for that beautiful class. Any questions, dear devotees? Okay, so there's no questions, Maharaj. Thank you so much. Please can you finish up?
जय श्री श्री गुरु गौरांग गंधर्विका गिरिधारी श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहार जी की जय। जय नितला पृष्ठ जगत गुरु शिष्य भक्तिदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज गुरुदेव की जय। नितला पृष्ठम विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत भक्तिदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जय। नितला पृष्ठम विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत भक्तिदांत त्रिविक्रम गोसाई महाराज की जय। नितला पृष्ठम विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत गौरवंद गोसाई महाराज की जय। नितला पृष्ठम विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत भक्तिदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय। आचार्य केशव शिष्यमत भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। जय नितला पृष्ठम विष्णुपाद शिष्यमत भक्ति प्रमोद पुरी गोसाई महाराज की जय। तृतीय शुभ तिरुभाति महामहोत्सव की जय। जगत गुरु शिल भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गोवर्धन द्वार शवनात्मक मंडल की जय। गंगा जमुना तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा सुदर्शन चक्रजू की जय। सर्व विघ्न विनाशन भक्ति विघ्न विनाशन रसग्रह भगवान की जय। भक्त श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। चारों संप्रदाय की जय। चारों आचार्य की जय। चारों धामों की जय। आकर मठराज चैतन्य मठ की जय। केशरी गौड़ी मठ की जय। रूपसदान गौड़ी मठ की जय। श्रृंगनाथ गौड़ी मठ की जय। अन्य शाखा मठ समूह की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। त्रिदंडी स्वामी शिष्य भक्तिदान दंडी महाराज जी की जय। नामनिष्ठ संत श्री अनिरुद्धदास प्रभु की जय। भटेर सेवक वृंद की जय। धामवासी भक्त वृंद की जय। ब्रजमंडल परिक्रमा की जय। कार्तिक व्रत की जय। ऊर्जा व्रत की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। क्षमा करो दया कर कृपा कर रक्षा करो गुरुवे गौर चंद्राय Radhika Idalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Dhanyavad. Bhaktivedanta Vishnu Daivata Mj ki jai. Thank you everybody so much for joining. Thank you for joining today, and we'll see you all tomorrow for class at Sripad Bhaktivedanta Dandi Maharaj for the last day of Karthik. And I will update again with time, but Gurudev said he should be on time tomorrow as well. So please bear with us if Gurudev is late, as he's doing Govardhan Parikrama tomorrow. So he will come. And then again, we see Sripad Bhaktivedanta Vishnu Daivata Maharaj for Travadharma class in the evening. So thank you, dear devotees, for joining. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhye patitana pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Vaishnavi. Hare Krishna Maharaj Dandavad Pranams. Hare Krishna dear devotees Dandavad Pranams. Hare Bol.